What's up, guys? It's another episode of Off the Post. I'm your host, DJ Redcap, with the recap. I've been wanting to say that, and it came out perfectly. I love it. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. Let's get back to what we're supposed to be doing now. As you can see, this is another episode, and we're here to talk a little bit of NWSL review. We have a nice, lovely panel with some new lower thirds. I'm hoping you guys love those lower thirds. We could thank Miss M for that. That's her code name that she wants to go by, to be honest. It's so true. I don't even know her first name. Let's talk to the panelist first, and then I'll tell you everything that's been going on with Off the Post, because we have so many contests and everything going on. It's been crazy. We're just giving away stuff for free, so you really should be paying attention right now, because you can actually be winning a prize or something if you follow one of our social media pages. Let's start with Courtney first, the girl who has had no sleep. How have you been doing lately?
I've had more sleep than Jen Carl has, but I went to Maryland yesterday to watch the Spirit game. Got to meet that Spirit fan also, so that was pretty cool. It was a good game, and I got to see my friends, and yeah, that's it. Moving on. I'm back. I came back today, so I literally just got home about an hour ago, and we're good.
Jen Hayes, since we got both of the Jens, this is going to be a mess. How are you doing today, Jen Hayes?
Tired. Very, very tired. But
no, why are you
so
tired?
happy to be on. Work.
Okay.
Let's just leave it at that.
All right. She's doing something illegal, people. Jennifer Carl, what have you been up to?
Stop!
Jen Carl, what are you up to lately?
Also very sleep deprived and tired, but feeling great. We got 3 points for the Spirit, so it's always a good week.
So that Spirit fan is very happy at the moment. That's good to hear. And Karen with her new NWSL Kim Little lower third. What have you been up to lately?
I caught up on all the games this morning. Still trying to recuperate from that, but
No, that's how I am always. I feel like I make sure to watch all the games, that if I miss when there's a couple at the same time, I'll watch them in the morning, watch back to back, and it feels like I'm just watching soccer for the whole weekend. I'm doing nothing else, which isn't a bad thing. I can't complain.
No.
All right. If you want to speak to us during the show, you can use the hashtag WoSoTalk. Let's talk about, I'll say the ball winner last, so that'll keep your interest a little bit in the show. Yep, sorry. Also, the Chicago tickets. This is what I want to talk about. We need people to start receiving. We're giving away free tickets to go to a Chicago Red Stars game, and if nobody wins, then we will just burn the tickets live on air. We don't want to do that. So because we don't want to do that, all you have to do is when you see one of our posts mentioning Chicago tickets, tell us why you deserve those tickets, and then you can go to a game, and there's going to be a couple of us hanging out at the game. You'll get to meet that Spirit fan. You'll get to meet the guy who wears the red cap. You'll get to meet Jackie, and you'll get to meet Graham. So that's pretty cool, I think. Even if you don't want to talk to us, you'll get to meet us for a second. So it's always fun. Also, we're having another contest, but I'm just going to mention this one, and we're going to start talking about it a bit more. I woke up with this random idea. I said, well, since there's all these, I know we're all going to these national team games within the next couple of months, with the ones in August and then the ones in September. I said, what if we do a contest where if you watch the show or you're going to one of these games and you see one of the panelists, you say, hey, are you a panelist on Off the Post or whatever? Then you'll win a little prize or something. I don't know. We'll all have a random prize you can give. I know, Jen, aren't you going to a game pretty soon?
I'm going to a lot of games pretty soon.
Okay, well, see?
I'm going to a whole lot of games. I have a very packed schedule, but I'll be at the, as far as national team matches go, I'll be at the Pittsburgh game up at Heinz Field on the 16th of this month, so you will definitely catch me there. I'll be at various NWSL matches too, so give me a shout out there if you see me, and hopefully I'll have some cool stuff for you.
Yep, so if you see Jen Curl at one of these games, then you should say something to her, and she'll give you a cool prize. If you see me at the game when it comes to Michigan, you'll get a prize. But we'll remind you guys as it goes on. I don't know what I'll get you. I'll probably buy you some nachos or something, maybe something even better. Maybe you'll buy me something, and then I'll take your wallet and buy myself some more stuff. Let's get on to the show, shall we now, people? All right. I think we should jump right into the NWSL action because there was a lot of action this week. We've had some mid-week games, and that kind of throws off my sleep schedule, which I wasn't happy about. But we will talk about the Flash, who I'm not a big fan of at the moment, and the Portland Thorns. Yeah, you guys can laugh now. Let's start with you first, Courtney. What did you think of that Flash versus Portland Thorns game in the middle of the week?
Well, I have very few words to say about that because I will, to quote Aaron Lyons after the game, they were horrible first half. Horrible. No, he didn't say horrible. They were bad first half, bad second half. Didn't deserve to win, so that happened. Weird game. He keeps changing the lineup. I can't remember the last time Brittany Taylor didn't start a game other than Wednesday. He went with Del Kemper and Engen, and then put Elizabeth Eddy in right back. They also played a 4-4-2, which they hadn't played since early in the season, which one would think that would give them more width, but it didn't. So yeah, not great by the Flash. I mean, Heyman and Lynn Williams were pretty good up top together, but didn't make anything happen. And then Io and Sinclair were awesome, and that was pretty much it. And Sabrina D'Angelo stopped the penalty, so good job, Sabrina, for stopping the PK.
Jim Hayes, what were your thoughts on the game? Jim Hayes?
Oh. I'm trying to numb the pain because it was painful.
But they won last night, so it's okay.
I saw the Flash playing basic level soccer that an under 10 team would find rather embarrassing. You know, it was that bad. You know, other than Sabrina D'Angelo being awesome and stopping that penalty kick. You know, again, there wasn't really much to talk about. It was a painful performance, one of the worst I've seen from the Flash, even discounting the blowouts in Seattle. And I do want to point out, you said you didn't know when Brittany Taylor left. It was July 31st, 2013, 3-0 win over the Spirit was the last time Brittany Taylor did not start.
Wow. Thanks for that.
Knowledge!
I could have better knowing that. I was too lazy to look it up, so.
Jim, what were your thoughts on Jen, Carl, what were your thoughts on the Thorns last night? I mean, not last night, well, weekend.
Yeah, I got you. I think I pretty much called that pretty well. I said if Angara was going to start, the Flash were going to take that game, and if Betos started, the Thorns were going to take that game. Betos started, Thorns took the game. So I wasn't really surprised by that. But surprisingly, I don't really think Betos had a lot to do with it. So even though I said that, you know, Western New York just couldn't finish. You know, shout out to Heyman, like Courtney said. She's been making an impact since she got signed. What, 2-ish weeks ago?
She's played. This was her third game, I think.
Yeah, and she's already.
Game.
Yeah, and she's made huge waves already, so good for her. But they couldn't finish, and the Thorns did. But you know, to echo, which is DJ's favorite phrase, things that everybody else already said. D'Angelo saving that PK. You know, after moments like that, I would like to see maybe the team get a little bit of a boost. Just because, you know, they have a great stop like that, all of a sudden it's a stop and a momentum, but that boost never came. So I was a little bit disappointed by that, but otherwise, you know, it was kind of what I expected it to be.
Yeah, for me, something that just stood out, I remember for Hinkle and Eddie, they just seemed like they're so good pushing forward and crossing balls in, but then it looked like the rest of the team was just absolutely horrible a lot of the times. Mules had some good runs from time to time, but it was just, for me, it almost was as if they were just looked in disarray, the team, where they couldn't really finish anything. I don't know, they stayed in the game for a certain extent, but then it just became, you knew Portland at one point or another was going to put one in the back of net and actually win the game. And Karen,
sorry, can I just point out real quick that Eddie's played pretty much every single position on the field. I think she was in at forward against the Dash, and now she's playing right back against Portland, and so she's great, but just right back is not necessarily her natural position. But anyways.
Yeah, and she still looks pretty good to me. Some of those crosses she put in, she's actually a really good player. I've been enjoying her. And Karen, do you have any thoughts on the game?
Yeah, I'm actually, obviously, as a Seattle fan, and hearing what Portland fans have to say about Seattle fans, I'm not always the hugest Portland fan, but it's nice to see them getting something out of a game, I guess. I don't want anybody to go down in flames in the league. So, yeah, that was nice. Although, yeah, the Flash definitely had a lot to improve on, and they did improve in the game last night, so that was good to see too. But I mean, everybody has their off games, and that was definitely the Flash's off game for sure.
Yeah.
Hopefully one of their last ones, if not their last one.
I wish they would have had an off game last night, if I'm talking truthfully. But as also I want to say, Betos was actually good. She did that sweeper keeper role amazing. She only had really one dicey moment where she came out and I was like, oh, they might get past her or the ball might trickle past. But other than that, I thought she had a really good game yesterday. So it's a good little win for Portland, even though I didn't need them to win. And it was just an off night for the Flash. Let's talk about the Dash versus FC Kansas City. This was the game I was actually waiting to watch just because I like these two teams, how they play. We will start with you, Karen. Your thoughts on the game?
It was really exciting to see the national team players back for both of the teams and going head-to-head. Yeah, it was a pretty good game. Dash pulled it out of nowhere, I thought, because I thought Kansas kind of had more of the run of play. But it was really good to see Carly Lloyd again and rocking it because that's just what she's done lately. So that was cool. Yeah, it was a good game. Good matchup. I had fun.
Jen, your thoughts on the Dash, how they've been playing? You think that Carly Lloyd edition, like as Karen said, she's been rocking it. It's been amazing for them so far, right?
Which Jen?
Oh, shoot. Jen Curl.
Okay. Yeah. That was a very late goal. I think it was, the 87th minute by Carly Lloyd. And it was a very typical Carly Lloyd goal. So, I mean, it was very, it definitely worked out for them. But I kind of agree that I was expecting Kansas City to at least get the draw in that, if not the win, with the way they had been playing. But I'm going to do a quick shout-out to Nikki Cross. That was her last home game, and she had that assist on the Carly Lloyd goal. And I'm a little biased because she used to play for us in Washington. But, I think it was nice for her to get that assist in that last home game in front of that Houston crowd. So good for her on that. Good way to end in Houston, and it was a good win for Houston. So,
Jen, your thoughts on FC Kansas City? I feel like that trio of A-Rod, Holiday, and Hale has been actually pretty fun to watch.
Yeah.
Jen Hayes.
Hale, yes. A-Rod, not so much. I don't know what it is because last season she was just banging in goals whenever she felt like it, and she hasn't found the back of the net once, so I don't know if it's just carryover from the national team because, Club A-Rod is awesome, national team A-Rod, not so much. And honestly, I really think Kansas City should have won that game because in the second half when Morgan Bryan had to come out, you could see the Dash really couldn't string more than 2 or 3 passes together. So when Hagen got the equalizer, I'm like, oh, okay, Kansas City's coming back, even though the record hasn't been great at that. And then Carly Lloyd does what Carly Lloyd does best. So, I'm not necessarily sure the Dash really deserved getting 7 points out of the last 3 games, but it is what it is.
And Courtney, any last thoughts on that game?
Yeah, I mean, I would agree. I think when Morgan Bryan came out, was obviously second half was very different, and I think they definitely missed her last night as well against the Spirit, which we'll get to later. But she definitely was missed. But I don't know. I don't have a problem with the Dash getting the points there. I think that that first goal by Kansas City, like the national team members combined really well together. But I think it always sucks when the ball takes a deflection like that because clearly the way it was heading was nowhere near where it ended up. And if you're a goalkeeper, like you can't. I mean, I've never been a goalkeeper really, but like you can tell McLeod wasn't looking for it to go in the bottom right-hand corner, and there's really nothing you can do about that. That's not really your fault. So, but I think just to talk about Erin McLeod, I think is still one of the best goalkeepers out there, and she's been amazing since coming back to the NWSL. And was great in Canada for during the World Cup too. So I don't have a problem with them winning the game, just because I do think that first goal too by Kansas City was kind of questionable.
Yeah,
Not questionable, I would say cheap, but kind of cheap because that's not where it was. It wasn't where it didn't go where it should have gone. So, you don't really have a chance to make a save like that. But I mean, it was a great game. Great game either way. Both teams are really excellent. So it was good.
Yeah, and I enjoyed the Ellie Brush, the volley. That was a pretty nice little goal she had there. So they say like you expected headers from her, but then she hits it with a volley, and you're like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. So that was nice to watch. Now let's get into actually the weekend of action. This is where we can have a little fun because these games are still fresh in our memory. Breakers versus Seattle.
Oh, Breakers.
Everyone sounds sad for the Breakers. So let's go for the winning fans. Karen, what were your thoughts what were your thoughts on the Breakers versus Seattle?
That was actually a really fun game, and I'm not just talking because like we won. I'm talking like it was actually really fun from both sides. There was a lot of like contentious stuff that happened, and that's always fun. There was the penalty, and honestly, there should have been 2 penalties. But honestly, if Kim Little gets that mad, you know something's wrong because that girl is like she was a cucumber all the time on the field, so she was pissed, and I gotta say. It was awesome. I love pissed Kim Little. I want more of it. But anyway, not at the expense of my team, obviously, but it was awesome. But I thought Boston played a really good game. It tilted in Seattle's favor. We did have a lot of the possession, but I thought Boston had some really good shots on goal. They also had that newest goal, which was ridiculously amazing.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
But as always, Bev came through because that's just what she does. And I thought Katrine Vi was a huge part in Seattle pulling through, even though she came off, I think, with it was like the 70th minute or something when she came off, or the 60th minute. But those 60 minutes that she played, she had a huge impact. So it was really good to see her come in and do that. But yeah, Bev doing work as always. Kim Little was doing work. I love Jess Fishlock just because of that attitude she has. I think it's amazing. But yeah, it was kind of upsetting to see King get that red card because I don't really want her to be out for the next game. That's a bummer. But she deserved it. She got 2 yellow cards, and that's a red card. So that was kind of sucky for Boston. But yeah, good job, Seattle. And
as you were saying, Vi's been amazing. Watching her out there, she was blowing past everyone, just taking on any player. I was just like, wow, it looks so easy to her. Like
she was straight up Crystal Dunning it.
Yeah, another great player.
Love it.
That's awesome.
But and Courtney, let's go to you right now. What you were crying for Boston? It sounds like. Why were you?
I wasn't. This is one of those games. There's been some pretty bad games of Boston. It's just been pretty bad, and you're like, wow, get your life right. But this is one of those games that I think like the crazy things like fouls and penalties and stuff like that did them in. Like I think that really it could have easily been a tie game had they not. Had that all not happened. So, like, I do kind of feel bad in that aspect because they did play fairly well. Chrissy Mewes hit the post crossbar so many times this season, and for it to actually kind of hit and then go in was like a nice little goal for her. She got right to the underside, looked like. But I'm not really, like I said, not a huge Breakers fan, but like they're my Boston exception. Sorry, Breakers, but I don't. Penalty kicks, everyone thinks they're exciting and they're great, but like for that to decide a game, I guess kind of bums me out a little bit. Not taking anything away from Seattle because they played a great game also. So, yeah, I mean, I feel for them a little bit just because they could have easily tied, maybe even won that game, but the silly mistakes in the box and stuff like that, and then getting I believe King is their captain and one of their best defenders, so her getting sent off with 10 minutes left, she's gonna miss next game, like that sucks. But I also just want to shout out Caroline Stanley because, Kottmeyer's been killing it in goal for Seattle and then was hurt. And you're like, well, I know she's been around kind of like during the World Cup, but like, oh, we just signed you. And like, here you go, have fun. We're going to play a game this weekend. And you did it really well. So it was a better game than I thought it was going to be, but kind of unfortunate that the Breakers lost. They didn't really play to deserve a loss except for the careless errors, I guess.
The only problem I ever have when watching the Breakers, it seems like they just struggle to maintain a string of possession in a lot of games too, and they're just like, and they're praying that McCaffrey runs it down, and then hopefully Mewis or someone is available. But that's the only real problem I really have with watching them, and it's just like naturally you're going to lose if you can't string together any passes. So that's a major issue. I don't know how you almost need to just bring in like a holding midfielder to really do a lot of that for you maybe or something. But yeah, that's a tough thing to watch with Boston. But Jen, do you have any criticisms of how Boston plays a lot of times? Jen Hayes?
I feel awful for Boston and their fans because Tom Durkin is basically Mike Jordan in disguise. First Spirit coach, if anybody wasn't following the league back in 2013. It's like I see their roster and I'm like, okay, Nair, good player, Mewis, great player, this player's good, but they have some good pieces, but collectively just something's not seeming to click. I don't know if it's Tom Durkin himself. I don't know if it's just that organization. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to echo my call. I do think Tom Durkin needs to go. I think they need a fresh outlook. And I want to say I love Jess Fishlock. I think she is an amazingly talented player. But oh my God, does that girl love to whine?
I love it.
I'm like, Kim Little gets a yellow card for whining one time. Jess Fishlock won't shut up, and she gets nothing. Come on, pull out the plastic once in a while, and maybe she'd shut up.
They're used to her in their ear, so they're just like whatever. And then Kim Little does it, and they're like yellow card. She's just like what?
So basically, it's like white noise. But man, that game was getting fiery. And I will say, Julie King, absolutely 100% both yellows deserved.
Yeah.
And Jen Carl, any other thoughts on the game?
Everything's kind of already been said. I know Courtney did a shout out for Caroline Stanley already, but I'm actually going to give a shout out to the rest of the Seattle backline. I think at the end of the game, Stanley had one save actually recorded. And that speaks volumes about the rest of that back line back there, about Fletcher, Barnes, Cox, and Corsi. They did a fantastic job, not having to force her to make those crazy saves on her first game. So good on them. And yeah, I mean, I've said it all season that Boston's been really unpredictable. I didn't expect them to win this game against Seattle, so it was a pretty fair result considering all the variables there.
Boston, don't worry, we're out there crying for you a little bit. Oh no, someone has to be last. Seattle Reign are first in the league with 30 points, and the Boston Breakers are at the bottom of the league, since I'm not anymore at Sky Blue with 12 points. I'm sorry, I had to smile about that. No one else was laughing, and whatever, you're a Sky Blue fan. Okay, so moving on. Let's talk about the Spirit versus Houston Dash. This was actually a game I thought was going to be better, and then Crystal Dunn decided to go and have a hat trick. So we will start with that Spirit fan. Your thoughts on the game?
That was a great game. That game was beautiful. Yeah, Crystal Dunn scored the first hat trick ever in franchise history for the Spirit. So good on her. And with the season she's had, she earned that. It's about time. Okay, well, we'll take it. We'll move on. We're happy for her. I won't rub it in too much. I'm just kidding. Yes, I will. I'm going to be talking about it all week. Sorry, guys. But yeah, Mark Parsons is doing interesting things with the lineup now. He did move Ali Krieger back to midfield, but this week he also started Joanna Lohman. So you had essentially two central defending midfielders playing on the field together, and it actually worked really, really well. Because I think Ali Krieger, being more of an attacking defender, she could push forward where Joanna Lohman kind of held back, and vice versa. They could flop back and forth, and I think that really helped our midfield out a lot. They just looked good. They were connecting their passes. They were able to push forward when they needed to, defend when they needed to. This was probably one of the best games I have seen for the Spirit all season. And it showed in the result. I mean, we shut down Carly Lloyd's foot, which is always, that's a big deal. And Jess McDonald's goal, that happened so quickly. Like, I can't even really fault us for that. That was a beautiful, beautiful sequence, beautiful goal. So, I mean, one thing I gotta say, though, I was talking to a couple of people last night. Ashlyn Harris, man, I don't know how that girl can do so much hair. Like, she's the only keeper I know of, well, maybe Nair, that, like, has that much hair around her. Like, how do you defend a ball with that? But anyway, regardless, yeah, no, it was a really good game for us, and Houston played fairly well. You could tell that Morgan Bryan was missing. It was nice to see Nikki Cross come in for, I think, Toni Presley to finish out the game. It was her last game, and she got to finish it at home. So what I consider her home. So, I mean, it was a great game to watch. It was a lot of fun, of course, as a Spirit fan, but I think it was just a lot of fun in general watching, Crystal Dunn finally get that accolade. So.
Yeah, and I thought Harris had a great game. Some of those saves, she made that save on Ohai's kick that looked like it was curling for that top corner. That was an amazing save by Harris. So she played really well and did her job out there. Let's jump over to you, Courtney. What were your thoughts on how the Spirit played?
I'm going to talk about some things that kind of did. I mean, obviously, Crystal Dunn was amazing, and I think after the game, she was like, because we asked her like when the last time she got a header was. She kind of think she could remember, but all her goals were great. She tore through like the whole back line on that first goal, and then the second goal was good, and then the third goal for her to get a header, not like just like, oh, I'm by myself, or like a weird fluke, but like in the middle of people. She's 5'2". She goes, I scored that goal, and I was like, I'm 5'2". Like, what? Yeah. And that was just amazing. I will say the Dash did not have their best game. Notice, not that I'm saying people out, but I'll follow up on it. But Ella Masters has been great on the back line for Dash's season, not so great last night. Found out after the game, or I guess found out during the game, she was having some difficulties that she had a stomach bug, so that will probably affect her play, and did, unfortunately. But also tough for them to lose McLeod early on. Nothing against Bianca Henninger, because she's a great goalkeeper also, but losing McLeod has been outstanding, is not helpful for them either. Two highlights for me. The Spirit honored Nikki Cross for her last game before the game. Ashlyn Harris actually wore one of her old shirts during warm-ups and then presented with her with some flowers, and it was kind of a nice little moment. And she also got a great ovation when she came on the field. There was a Nikki Cross chant, which was nice, even though she was on the opposing team. She still got a lot of love. And then Ashlyn Harris took a throw-in. So I just, if you didn't see it, I just looked over and was like, did Ashlyn just take that throw-in? And I don't really know why. We asked her post-game, and I don't really remember what she said, but that was just interesting. I've never seen a goalkeeper take a throw-in before. And, her team kind of almost screwed over for that, and then had that one little defensive giveaway right after she had to throw in, so she had to run back to the goal. But overall, great game. Like Jen said, Jess McDonald's goal came out of nowhere. All of a sudden she was there, and the ball was there, and it was in the net. And I don't think Ashley she didn't even move. So good game, not great game for the Dash, but I do like the Dash, so hopefully they. And another. Actually, I'm not going to mention that because someone else might mention the other thing I was going to mention. So I'm just going to leave it at that and hope someone else picks it up. If not, I'll jump back in later. But
not at all. Now, I think the only time I saw a keeper do a throw in there, was it the UCL final? It happened once this year, and they actually messed up when they did it, and they were just like, you guys fouled. Yeah, there you go. Thank you. I knew I saw it this year, and it was so funny because they were all just laughing at him. Thank you for telling me who it was. I couldn't remember the keeper. All right, Jen Hayes, what were your thoughts on the Dash?
Well, I'm going to go back to the Spirit because I think this game showed just how important Crystal Dunn is to them, because for however long she was on there, the Dash really weren't doing much of anything. And then once Mark Parsons decided, okay, we're up, we can start to go into our shell, it was like a completely different Spirit team. the Dash all of a sudden turned it on. It's like, okay, Crystal Dunn's not in, we could turn it on, and they came very close to getting a second goal and making it interesting. But yeah, I do think that missing Morgan Bryant, I think for probably the first time in God knows how long, Carly Lloyd looked tired. She was just a step off most of the night. And she still got her shots off, but it was not a good performance from her. Not having Morgan Bryant certainly didn't help. Andresa was all over the place, and not in a good way. It's like, but you know what I mean. I mean, it's like she was there, but she wasn't really contributing. The Dash defense was a mess. I mean, how do you let... I know Crystal Dunn's good, but how do you let her go through 5 defenders and nobody stops something? But yeah, Crystal Dunn for MVP.
And Karen, any final thoughts on the game?
Crystal Dunn is, holy shit, she's ridiculous. That's the last game that I watched today, and I was just looking at my computer the whole game, just with a flat look, are you kidding me? What is she? What is she even? I don't know if somebody hurt her and now she's getting back at them. I don't know. But it's insane what she's doing on the field in every single game that she plays, and getting a hat trick. And it wasn't just somebody gifted her a goal. That there are some goals that somebody gives you the perfect ball and you put it in. No, she ran through 5 players, scored the goal, ran through McLeod, scored a goal, and then that header was ridiculous. So it's just she's Crystal Dunning it. She's a badass. It's insane. I don't even know what else to say about the game because I'm still just I'm caught in this Crystal Dunn web. I don't even know how to get out. It's insane.
No, Crystal Dunn is definitely magic, that's for sure. And I think the U.S. Women's National Team, we've been having some issues with strikers, so we might need a little young striker to come in and actually score some goals for us. Maybe we should look.
5 players.
Yeah, and it looks like we have Crystal Dunn right there waiting for us. So, Jill Ellis, give her a call. She might be pretty good. I don't know. She looks like she's a star. All right. Yep.
Estelle Johnson. I'm going to mention it because no one else did. Estelle Johnson. I don't even know if it was purposeful, but definitely saved a goal for the Spirit right off the line. I pretty much hit her right in the chest. So good positioning, I guess. I don't really think she moved to save the ball. I just kind of hit her. But Estelle Johnson could have been 3-2. You were there. Way to be where you're supposed to be. Carry on.
Good job, Johnson, my sister. Appreciate it. The Washington Spirit now have 24 points in there, sitting in 3rd place. And the Houston Dash somehow are still sitting in 4th with 20 points. But barely hanging on because FC Kansas City. Speaking of FC Kansas City, we're going to talk about them after we talk about Sky Blue. So Sky Blue and the Western New York Flash had a game. And this game didn't go the way I wanted it to. We will start with these Flash fans first, and then we will get the real analysis from me. So
I have never not been honest about the Flash performance here ever. So
I know, really.
It hasn't either, so...
As I said, we will go to me after we get this out of the way. So let's start with Courtney.
Well, we had more lineup changes again. This is just the ball. Jones was back. I guess she's blessed to have 2 amazing goalkeepers because I wasn't really happy with D'Angelo, even though she got the penalty save. She was way off the line when Sinclair got her goal. So, he has an opportunity to interchange them as he pleases because they're both amazing. So, Jones back in. She was great. Taylor back in. And then my favorite part of the day, Leighton Andrade gets her first start for the Flash. And I'll be brief and just say she got her first goal, which, if anyone watched the week that I hosted the show, I had a lot to say about the league game here, so she scored. I'd love for her to score at home. They have 2 more home games left. I'd love for her to score in one of those 2 home games just to see what happens. But her footwork is amazing. The goal, she didn't really get the highlight on the goal. It was kind of just a deflection came back out to her. She was right there. But her footwork is outstanding, and she's been great for the Flash also. One thing I will say, this is the honest part of me coming out, the defense has seriously been the Flash's issue for, I don't know, the whole season. And O'Hara, not to take away from O'Hara's goal, because she capitalized and did a great job, the nearest Flash player to Kelly O'Hara when she threw a goal was Michelle Heyman. who's your forward. So that's a problem. When I was watching it, I was like, everyone's running back. Why is the defense why are we chasing her? Because she's there. And then it was Michelle Heyman, and I was like, and Michelle Heyman, your forward, is the closest person defending to Kelly O'Hara as she scores a goal. That's a problem. So, hopefully we'll still work on the defense. Elizabeth Eddy is wonderful. Second time this season she's come in late and made things happen. And sorry, DJ, that's a huge win for the Flash. They've gained another spot in the standings where they've kind of fallen recently, so I'm not mad about it. We'll see what happens.
Let's hope for the worst. Jen Hayes, your thoughts?
Oh, thanks for that. The downer. Can I ask what on earth Aaron Lyons was thinking when they had a 1-goal lead and he has all but one field player up on a corner kick? Hello, you're defending against a team with 3 very fast forwards and you're leaving one player back there. Yeah. Surprise, surprise, they got burned. So not happy about that. I'm also kind of about the goals. I don't think they were necessarily Flash. The Flash didn't exactly create those goals. It was totally Brittany Cameron or the Sky Blue backline screwing up. So we got the win. I mean, it wasn't great. Again, it's just like the Portland game, basic level soccer. So, I mean, I love the fact that we got the 3 points on the road, 3 badly needed points, but there were still some problems, still things like Abby Dahlkemper making the usual dumb move in the worst possible time. I think you could make a drinking game out of that. And Sam Mewis, I thought she was terrible. She didn't do one thing that I'm like, oh, good, we need her on the field. It's like, by the time she left, I was like, thank God, Mewis is off. She's not killing this anymore. So, but I am still glad that we got the win because we really needed those 3 points.
That was actually the first time this season that the first minutes that Mewis has missed this season. So now the only player on the Flash who's played every minute of every game is Becky Edwards.
Nope. Jaylene Hinkle has.
Has she?
Yes, Hinkle has not been subbed out once.
The Flash were wrong then because I think that they tweeted that Edwards was the only one left. So I'm gonna have to go look that up again. But so maybe Hinkle too. That's just what I read, Becky Edwards. But I'm gonna look it up now and maybe Hinkle also. But not Sam Mewis anymore. She was one of the only up until that point.
Yeah, but she was bad. She was terrible.
All right. Well, now that I'm not falling asleep anymore listening to these Flash fans, let's start with Jennifer Curl. Jen, talk about Sky Blue a little bit for me. Make me feel better.
All right, I can do that. They didn't play badly, and that was the thing. I think that's what struck me kind of strangely. I think when I looked at the stats, they had 21 shots and 8 of them were on goal. So the fact that the Flash defense, as shoddy as it's been all season, sorry guys, the fact that Sky Blue didn't get more in was kind of surprising. So it was a good win for the Flash. It was a much needed win for the Flash, but the way Sky Blue was playing up top with that many shots on goal, getting KO up there, I think Sky Blue should have had more than they did. I'm not sure exactly what the issue was. I'm not sure if it was a chemistry issue up top this week, if it was just something, people just being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Maybe they're getting tired. I have no idea. But something just kind of kept them from making those chances count. So that was kind of my take on that. As far as the Flash are concerned, like I said, it was a good win for them. It was a much-needed win. They needed to bump up a spot in the table. Courtney, you were saying earlier that they actually maybe stand a chance for playoffs. I don't agree because they do play Washington on the 12th. We're going to knock you guys out. Sorry.
Hey, who won the first matchup between those two? Who was it? Who won that first game?
Where did we play?
Doesn't matter. I mean, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But you know what? The Flash are going to be the first people that's going to break. That's going to be your first loss at home, Western New York Flash.
Okay.
Calling it.
keep hoping that you guys, your shoddy defense can stop Crystal Dunn from taking on 5 defenders.
Calling it. Stranger things have happened.
All right,
But-
so I think we've reached the point where everyone hates each other now.
I'm good.
And Graham's not even here.
The Rain fan sits to the side as these lower-level teams argue about stuff right here a little bit. Okay, but the thing is, well, other than the spirit, but it's the thing was like there was like the post saved us one time and Cameron saved us another time, but the Flash, we didn't come out as dominant as we usually did in those other couple of games, which is kind of weird. And we did get our shots off. We just seemed like we were kicking them right towards the keeper, just missing completely. So we had our shots, just we weren't getting hit in the back of the net. And that happens some games. I call them a FIFA game when you're on there playing and you get about 20 shots, but you barely get one goal, if that. So it happens. And Karen, do you have anything else you want to add about that game?
Yeah, you know what? I'm actually really excited to see Sam Kerr and O'Hara play together. I thought they had some really good chemistry here and there. And so I'm excited to see what they have to offer for the few games that are left, I guess. But I thought that they were really good. I know that there was a lot of problems with the attacking Sky Blue players, I guess, because obviously they lost. But I think Kerr and O'Hara could really make a difference going forward for Sky Blue. So that's my input on that. I'm not going to say anything else, just that.
That's good. The thing is with us is we weren't creating chances really at first. We were the ones getting battered, like in that one dash game where they had about 20 shots to our 5 or 6. Now we're actually able to create chances. So we've improved. We're looking good, but we're just so far in the hole right now that anytime you have one of these games where you do lose and you do take the most shots or you do create chances and don't get a goal and you lose the game, you can't really take these type of losses. You need to win as much as possible, but it sucks. To me, they were really good out there. That the whole 3-on-1 counterattack was kind of amazing. I don't know, like I said, it was Heyman all of a sudden. Person, I'm saying back there defending. Don't really know what happened there, but it's just I feel like the team does look better, so we have some positives to take from it, even if the results aren't there. We have something to carry on to next season and build off of this. So it was a good win for the Flash. You got to take them how you can get them. More power to them.
And you were right about Hinkle, so good on you for that too. I just looked up every game for the Flash, so you're right. She did not miss a minute yet. So good looks.
And we're not going to tell where the Sky Blue is at in the standings. We would just go to the Chicago Red Stars and FC Kansas City game, as that was our game of the week. Who wants to jump in? Well, no, we will mess with the Seattle fan since she had nothing to add to the Sky Blue argument. What were your thoughts on this game?
It was actually a pretty exciting game, pretty back and forth. Kristen Press is another player that when I was watching the game this morning, I was like, honestly, really? Okay, Kristen. Like, the 2 goals that she scored were ridiculously cool. That second one, though, was amazing. The little pullback that she had and then just, like, swooping it right into that top corner were ridiculous. And I think... Yep. They were talking about one of her coaches said something like how she creates a goal out of nothing. That was it right there. That was out of nothing. She created a goal. Besides Kristen Press, I thought Press and Huerta on the field was really exciting. Yeah. I was really disappointed in Chicago when they took Huerta out and put in Tancredi, and not just because I'm not a huge Tancredi fan, but I just thought that she didn't add anything to their attack after that, and Huerta had been working that whole game up there. And then Lepelvet, that was a sick header.
Yep.
But it's like a deflection or whatever, but it was really cool. The fact that she got down for that, and it was probably like at her like chest level, so she had to get pretty low for that. So that was cool to see. Again, I thought A-Rod and Lauren Holiday weren't really making much of a difference together, which is weird because they're always that combination that everybody's supposed to be like terrified of with Kansas City. O'Reilly had a good game, but I don't know. I thought Chicago was really upset about that tie, and they should have been. I think it should have been a win, but they let those goals in, so it was a tie.
One thing, Karen, one thing about Tancredi, I'm glad you mentioned that, is the fact that I feel like with the forwards they have, Jinhoi, Reta, and Press, how does Tancredi still find time on the field? Like, I never rated her much because she's not much of a technical player, but she's a forward. I've rarely seen her score goals, but she's a forward. And she just seems like a tank, but she's a forward. So it's like, I never knew what she really added as really now of all these quick, fast forwards that Press plays well off of both of Huerta and Hoy. And it's just like, then you put her out there, and is it just to be a bruiser? Then you should be moved back to the midfield more. Why are you up top if you're not going to score goals?
Scored against Boston. I feel like she's scored more goals recently than Jen Hoy has, I'd say. Not anything against Jen Hoy, but I think they all offer something different, like you said. So. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, I mean, I guess, I've seen her score goals recently, too, but I guess I've never considered her like I don't know, I just like Jen Hoy's speed and pace more, I guess, with alongside Press rather than Tancredi's, I guess. Tankness. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what she adds too much. But Jen Hayes, your thoughts on Tancredi?
I'm not even going there.
Wow, that happened at the best.
I'm not even going there because ever since going back to that incident in London, I refuse to talk about Tancredi because I will go off on a 10-minute sin. I will, however, talk about the game. I'm going to disagree with Karen. Other than the goals, it was a snooze fest. Just nothing really happened. It was like a ground game of volleyball, back and forth, nothing really happening. Oh, we got a goal, back to snooze fest, another tied up. It was just kind of blah for me. Although Press, if there weren't for the goals from that screamer from Lloyd and then Crystal Dunn shredding 5 defenders to score her first, might be considered a goal of the week, but. Yeah, I wasn't too thrilled with that game. And I wasn't happy about the result because I wanted Kansas City to lose.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, they came in there. The thing was, I felt about Kansas City. They came in fighting. Both teams were pressing each other back and forth, so it was a back and forth fest because both midfields were trying to fight for position as much as possible. And FC Kansas City held possession for a bit longer times at points. But it was just, like I said, well, it's back and forth. I'll give you that. So I guess that could bore some people. What are your thoughts on the game? Were you bored by it, or did you enjoy the game?
Who?
Courtney?
Oh, sorry. I didn't hear you say my name. I just heard, were you? Yeah. I mean, I said I was going to summarize this in 3 points, and so I can see where Jen would say that, about back and forth and being kind of boring, but my 3 points from that game, this is going to be the briefest I ever give a point in the show. Kristen Press is amazing. I love a good defender goal, so yay, LaPelbit. And nice to see Sarah Hagan score in 2 consecutive games. She's really talented, but it's kind of been like doing stuff, but not really like scoring probably as many goals as one would for Kansas City. So those are my 3 points for that game, and I'm done.
And Jane Carl, any more thoughts about that game?
Yeah, Kansas City. Karen and I both thank you for holding Chicago to a draw. But other than that, the only thing I really have to add, I mean, again, everything's kind of already been said. The only thing I really have to add is I think maybe Urseg got a little bit lucky that her penalty was only a yellow card. I went back and watched that again, and it was definitely some hardcore defensive handling up in there. So she may have been lucky that was only a yellow card, and had she gotten the red for that was still in the first half. So that would have been a very large blow to Chicago, and I think we may have seen a different result had it gone that way. That being said, it didn't. So the result is what we got, and it ended a draw. So kind of is what it is on that.
I really want to see when these 2 teams, because I feel like they're going to face off in the playoffs down the road or something. When DiBernardo actually starts the whole game, because I feel like she has such an impact. That'd be cool to see her in there going against Holiday and then back and forth these attacking midfielders and see which one just has the better game. Because we already know, it seems like you said, Holiday and A-Rod's been having some their connection hasn't really been there as of recently. And A-Rod's just not, she's misfiring, not firing on any cylinders. So I really want to see, like, down the road, maybe these teams get themselves a little bit back to get a little bit going. DiBernardo's legs aren't as tired, and she's ready for a good playoff game. Holiday and A-Rod are doing pretty good, and they're connecting. And see these teams really go at each other. But that game, to some people, was boring. Some people, it's just a lot of back and forth. I think it is what it is for the most part. But let's get to our sensational 6, because I know we all have 6 players that we really enjoyed this week. Who's going to say Crystal Dunn first? With Karen.
Well, the obvious answer is Crystal Dunn, but I'm going to leave that for somebody else. And I'm going to go with my Seattleite, Katrine Vi. She was my favorite this week. Mostly because I've been really excited about her coming to the team, and she hasn't let me down at all in the couple of games that she's played. And I thought yesterday she was so good. She was just tearing people apart with her ball skills, and her runs were amazing, and she was pulling a Bev in that she was doing a lot of defensive work too. And I love seeing forwards do defensive work as well. But yeah, I'm just so excited about seeing her play more games and get more minutes. I think maybe Rapinoe's injury was a blessing in disguise, because now we get to see a lot more Vi. She has been stepping up, and she's been doing awesome. So that's going to be my sensational 6 choice.
Sounds good. Vi, I really like her, actually. It's a player I'm starting to like more as I watch it, because it seems like no one can stop her on that side.
She's sick.
Yes, she is. Jen Carl, your choice?
I am
Dunn.
You'd be surprised.
a Spirit player. I never pick someone from the Spirit. You know better. I'm gonna go with Hagen, actually. Yeah, I think that ball in from O'Reilly delivered to Hagen, and then Hagen put it into the back of the net. That was definitely a worthy moment for me, because it's what got that draw, and it came in so late that I think by that point all of us, Seattle and Washington fans were like, oh crap, here comes freaking Chicago again. But the fact that Hagen tied it up in the 87th minute, that was huge. That was a huge draw for them to muster out.
So Sarah Hagen plays for the Spirit.
She just said she never picked someone from the Spirit.
I never pick a Spirit player ever, except Joanna Lohman. I pick her every week.
Okay.
I just don't announce that.
Okay, see, that's another story, people. We're going. Jen Hayes, your choice. Jen Hayes, your choice.
It looks like she's talking.
Is Jen Hayes here? Jen Hayes, your choice.
Her lips are moving. I do not hear her though.
Hey, can anyone hear me?
I can hear you.
We got you, DJ.
What is going on? Does she hear me? Courtney, your choice.
Are you gonna pick Crystal Dunn?
Crystal Dunn.
Well, no, I'm asking if you're gonna pick Crystal Dunn, because I have a couple I could pick if you're gonna pick Crystal Dunn.
No, I'm picking a sky blue player, because I never get to do that.
Then Crystal Dunn, absolutely.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. She has to be on there, and if someone else picked her, I would pick someone else, but she has to be on that list, so Crystal Dunn.
For sure.
Okay. Yeah. Now, is Jen Hayes here? Can we get a choice for Jen Hayes?
If Jen Hayes isn't here, I can pick a second one.
For goodness sake. All right. Jen Carl, give us a second one. We need one from a Jen. Who would Jen Hayes pick? Who do you think?
Jen Hayes is a tough one to read. I don't know who she would pick.
Oh.
But I'm going to pick Eddie.
There you go. That's actually probably who she would pick, huh?
Oh, hey. That works out then. I'm channeling my inner Jen Hayes.
Jen Power.
Yes. Yeah, I'm going to go with Elizabeth Eddy on that one. Another late goal, 90th minute or so. Elizabeth Eddy comes in and wins the game for the Western New York Flash. So Going there.
Okay, so we'll just say that's Jen Hayes' pick too then. So okay. My choice for this week, let's see. I wanted to choose Kelly O'Hara last week, so I'm going to choose her this week just because I didn't get to last week. And hey, she did score a goal, so I can justify it a little bit. So I'm going to go with Kelly O'Hara.
Solid
Good choice.
Thank you.
I love these lists. They're always so fun every week.
I know, they're so random too. Sometimes some people choose their favorite. Some people just choose some person that they think is cool because their hair or something. You know, it's real fun. These lists, a good time. Okay, what is going on? What is happening here?
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah!
What's up?
Oh my god. I have no idea what happened. Sorry, guys.
So Jen Hayes, you're okay with the Elizabeth Eddy choice?
Who took Eddie?
No, for you. That was.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say who picked Eddie.
No,
That was going to be my pick.
Sweet. Yes.
Oh, was that you, Carl?
Yes.
I picked who I thought you would pick, so we got it.
Dang, you know me pretty well then, because that is exactly who I was gonna pick.
Okay. You know what? All right, let's move. This segment is just officially done right now. We might not bring it back next week.
No, you have to bring it back. It'll be back next week.
Yeah, come on.
It'll be back next week. Okay, let's go to our preview, and let's hope that nothing crazy happens, which it always does on the show, which I love the most. We're going to talk about...
Jen Hayes doesn't break stuff.
Right, Jen Hayes. Portland Thorns versus the Breakers. This is a game that we just saw, I thought, a week ago, didn't we? Let's go with you, Courtney. Your thoughts on the game?
Oh, man. Well, the Breakers, much as it pains me to say it, because I am not a Portland Thorns fan in the slightest, they played really well. I mean, the Flash didn't play well at all, so it wasn't that hard to beat them. But they did play really well. Betos didn't have a lot to do, but was good. And the defense and Hollebeck again were good. Io and Sinclair and Allie Long, that one hurt. But no, I think the Breakers are just in a sad little moment right now, and I think especially without having King back there next game. Yeah, I think the Thorns are going to win. I don't think it's going to be super crazy. It's not going to be beat down special, but I'm going to say it hurts. I'm going to say Thorns 2-0.
2-0. Cool.
Yeah.
Jen Hayes, if your volume and you can hear me, who are you picking in this game?
I'm going Boston 2-0. First of all, a little sad shout out to Julie King because apparently she has never played. No, wait, she did play one of the games in 2013 at Providence Park, so never mind on that. Yeah, Sturkin made a comment oh, Julie King's never played at Providence Park, and I had to think, I think I've seen her play there at least once, so never mind on that. But yeah, it is going to suck for them that she is going to miss that game. But these two teams, you never know what's going to happen when they face off. It's okay, you go in thinking, okay, Boston's going to win, and Portland wins. And then there was that game last year where Durkin went all crazy and benched several players, and Boston just took Portland to the woodshed. So even though everything's pointing to a Portland win, I'm going to stick my neck out and say it was a 2-0 Boston win.
Right on. Somebody got to choose Boston. Jen Carl?
I'm going 2-1 Portland. I think maybe Boston will be able to sneak one past the back line. But, Portland did look better against the Flash. My only concern is that, and I think we were actually talking about this during the Portland game, is that Tobin Heath is starting to look really complacent playing for Portland. And that makes me a little bit nervous for her finishing out the rest of the season. But, I mean, they did look better against Western New York. So I see them coming out on top on this one. I'm going 2-1.
2-1 Portland, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. Karen, scoreboard.
I actually had the same thing written down on my notes, 2-1 Portland. I just think that King being gone is probably going to have a negative effect on the team. They're not used to not having her on the field. He's their captain. So that's going to suck for them, I think. And I don't think that they can pull it through on Portland without King. And like Jen said, Portland played pretty good against the Flash. And it will be interesting to see if they can do that again against Boston. They still have Sinclair. They still have Ali Long. If they utilize Shim more, I think that they would do a lot better because she's awesome. But, yeah, it'll be interesting. But I think Portland's going to pull through 2-1.
Yeah, I had the exact same thing in my notes. I just don't feel like Boston's going to win this game. I just haven't been, as much as I was impressed with them earlier on the season, they were fighting against teams. Now I feel like every team has them figured out, and they're really just McCaffrey try to get it down, and then they can't string together passes. So it's just, I had Portland 2-1. I just think that the Portland talent, more so than anything, is going to be more than what Boston's able to do. So Dash versus Sky Blue. Who do you guys got? We will start with you first, Karen.
Dash versus Sky Blue. So I want Sky Blue to win this game because Kelly O'Hara is awesome, but also I just want to see that Kerr and O'Hara start working because I think that would be really exciting to see. So I think Sky Blue can pull through with a 2-1 or maybe a 1-0 if they can close down Carly like Washington did. Yeah, I'm feeling very doubtful about this, but I'm gonna say, sorry DJ, I'm gonna say 1-0 Sky Blue if like a miracle happens.
Okay, miracles will happen.
I just want it to happen, so.
Jennifer, Carl, your choice.
This is tough because I don't know the status of Morgan Bryant at this point. I haven't looked into that, so I don't know if it's. Does anybody know if that's a long-term injury or a shorter-term issue?
I don't think it was her. I don't think it was because she was injured. I read somewhere on Twitter that apparently her grandmother died Friday.
That's right.
So that's
right.
why she missed the game.
That is exactly what happened. Her grandmother died on the flight over.
I don't think she would have started anyway. Sorry, I didn't realize everyone was talking. I don't think she would have started. I don't think she would have started anyways, even if she didn't have that family issue. So, I think it was kind of both injury and that. But I don't know the stat. I don't think it's a long-term injury. So if that helps at all.
All right.
I knew that. I knew that her grandmother just died. I don't know why I didn't remember that because we had just talked about that yesterday. She actually died on the flight to Washington, so that's really sad. But we won't talk about that. We'll move past that. So at this point, I'm going to say that Morgan Bryant's status is undetermined. So I don't know how that's going to impact Houston. Nikki Cross was kind of a sub player, so I don't know that that's going to have too big of an impact on them. But McLeod did receive stitches for her injury and will likely be out. I don't know if Ella Masser is going to be over her stomach flu. With so many different things going on, I think that's your miracle, DJ/Karen. So I'm actually going to agree that it's going to be 1-0 Sky Blue.
All right, let's go to Jen Hayes and see her choice. Jen Hayes.
Well, normally I hate when people suggest a draw, but in this case, I'm going to be that person throwing stones in my glass house. Both games were a 1-1 draw, the first two games, so I'm going to make it a trifecta of 1-1 draws.
All right, that's fine. Courtney, the sassy.
First of all, I want to clarify that everyone talking was on a delay, so I wasn't being sassy. I literally like couldn't hear that everyone was talking until I was talking over everyone, and then was like, "Oh God, there's so much noise." So I thought that it was not being sassy. I was talking and then heard everyone else and went, "Oh God, no."
I didn't realize everyone was talking.
Oh my God.
Courtney, who do you got? Who do you got today?
I don't know that I want to be nice to you now because I would say I think Sky Blue's gonna win, but I don't know. Maybe I'll change it to Houston. And I'm just kidding. I I think people have unlocked the key to keeping Carly Lloyd neutralized, and so I think that that's going to happen again. And yeah, there's a lot of unknowns. Will Morgan Bryan be back? Will Erin McLeod be back? I don't. She again, like Jen said, she has stitches in her leg from when she got by Dunn. So again, nothing against Henniger, but when you have someone who's been like on fire like McLeod has, I'm gonna say 2-1 Sky Blue.
All right, cool. You guys have a lot more faith in Sky Blue than me. I just feel like this is one of those games where we've been playing better, but the Dash can be a very scary team if Carly's just takes over the game naturally. So it's one of those things where I really didn't know. So I guess I copped out and I chose a 2-2 draw. As much as I would like us to win 2-1, but it would be nice to see if Sam Kerr and Kelly and Nadeem are all working together well and everything's going good. Caitlin Ford's coming up, 11 and all them, they're all doing well. I can see us winning this game about 2-1, but I think for some reason it's going to be just some little random late game magic by someone like Carly or probably Kealia Ohai is like due for one. I think she's due because I would like to see her more attacking, but she's more so always crossing a lot of balls into the middle anyway. So I just think that this is a game that might end up a draw and neither team's going to be really happy with the result, but we'll see. And our final game, Breakers versus Spirit. So the Breakers play another game this week too, huh? That's interesting. I guess they'll have some trouble in this game, especially against Spirit. Let's start with our Spirit fan. What do you got?
The Spirit should win this. Should, theoretically. I mean, we haven't done stellar on the road, which is why, you know, we are in third, because the other teams have done a little bit better. Save for Seattle, the other teams have done a little bit better on the road than us. Seattle's just now starting to pick up on the road in the season, but I'm gonna give this one to Washington. I'm gonna go. Let's go with the way Ashlyn Harris has been playing. I'm gonna say 2-0 Washington.
All right. Let's go with you, Karen. What do you think?
Spirit is definitely gonna win, especially if Crystal Dunn is on the field because she's insane. I'm gonna say that there's gonna be a lot of scoring again, and I'm gonna go with maybe 3-0 Spirit.
All right. Let's go to you, Jen Hayes.
Yeah, I have to agree that Washington isn't the best team on the road, but then again, very few teams are good on the road. You know, you can argue Chicago, they've only lost one game all year, so you'd probably say they're the best team on the road, but yeah, I think Boston, having all these games recently, I think they're going to be tired. Just based on that, I'm going to have to go 4-0 Spirit.
And Courtney, who do you got for winning this game?
Breakers. See, it's hard for me to talk about games that are happening with players who are playing twice in 1 week because, for me, it's kind of like, well, what happens in the first game? I mean, I think the Spirit are going to win either way, so I guess it doesn't really matter. Yeah. But I mean, like I said, I do think that I would like to see the first game before commenting. But I mean, I guess for this game, I'll go with Spirit just because. I mean, they have kind of struggled. This is an away game for the Spirit. It is an away. Sorry. They do have a kind of struggle on the road throughout this season. So, but I think after the schedule Boston's had and going to Portland and coming back and things like that, I'll say 3-1 Spirit.
Yeah, I'm kind of feeling the same way as you. I feel like Spirit are now just rolling, and they're just going to be banging on all cylinders. I see Dunn getting another goal. Maybe we get a Naren goal. I think it's going to be 3-0. I just don't think Boston stands much of a chance in this game, to be honest. They just haven't impressed me from the later half of the season. They just impressed me for some reason. Another game we got going on this week is what's that? Someone saying anything?
Thanks, guys.
Oh, sorry. Oh, no problem. We're telling the truth. FC Kansas City versus the Western New York Flash. this is another game that should be actually interesting to watch because FC Kansas, well, the Flash are a team that you never really know what you're going to get, but they do play hard every game. That's one good thing about the Flash. Courtney, who do you got in this game?
Well, it's difficult because the first time they played, the Flash lost 1-0, but they had like a bajillion and one shots on goal. I think literally 21 shots on goal that none of them went in. And then they played them right after, and there was a 1-1 draw. So I think that they'll just make this season, that they'll make the series a wash, and the Flash will win 2-1.
Okay. Jen Hayes.
I do have to correct. It was actually a scoreless draw, not a 1-1 draw. I wish we had gotten a goal.
That happened like a bajillion years ago. I don't even know.
Sorry.
No, you're
Sorry.
fine.
That's me having to be a nitpicker.
You're fine. I got the draw part right. That's more of a surprise. That's better than I thought I'd be doing today. So that's great.
Yeah, get some freaking sleep. Ooh. Well, Kansas City and Flash have always been kind of close, so we've never gotten a win there. This is going to be the first time. I'm going to go 1-0 New York wins.
Nice. Carl?
My heart is saying Western New York.
Don't do it, Jen. Go with your heart, Jen, Carl. Go with your heart.
Don't do it, Carl!
Normally when I do that, I get in trouble.
Come on, don't be that guy.
Probably because I have a heart 3 sizes too small, like the Grinch or something. I don't know. No, I am going to go with my heart here. I'm going to say Western New York wins this one. Let's go 1-0. I think they're slowly pulling it together. I think Kansas City has had trouble connecting. So I'm going to say that Western New York will be able to take this one.
Karen?
How do you, Jen?
I'm going to say it's going to be a tie, 1-1.
Nice. And I will go with, my decision on this game will be, I keep thinking FC Kansas City's going to like eke out one, and it's just going to be A-Rod. She's going to get finally off the schneid and get 1 goal, so it'll be like 1-0, even though I feel like Sam Mewis is going to score and make it a draw for some reason, but I'm going to just stick with Kansas City. They're going to win 1-0. So. And finally, guys, just wrap it up with the Portland Thorns versus Chicago Red Stars. Give me a score and tell me why if you feel like it. Courtney.
Can I abstain? I don't know. This is the one that I'd want to wait to see the first Portland game to comment on. Again, it's against the Breakers, so I don't know if that's going to be a good gauge of. You know what? I'll do the cop out. 2-2 draw.
Yep, that's fine. Jen Hayes.
Well, considering they've drawn their last 5 games in a row, I don't see that changing anytime soon. I'll go 2-2 as well. I'd say 1-1 if it was at Benedictine, but since it's at Providence, I'm going to say it's a little more open to 2.
Carl.
I guess I'm gonna be that guy. I'm gonna go Portland on this one. I'm gonna say 2-1 Portland. Press is gonna get a goal in, and aside from that, I think Portland's gonna pull it together at home and score 2 goals to beat them. So I'm gonna go 2-1 Portland.
And Karen, now you have to decide on a game with Portland, so you're gonna pick against them. And what is your score for Chicago to win?
I'm going to pick against them, and I'm going to go 2-1 Chicago.
That's what I was thinking. Actually, I was thinking the same score. I'm going 2-1 Chicago. I just can't pick against Chicago, man. They look too good, and Portland is so just. Portland's just, to me, is just, they're a mess. One of those mess teams too that you watch, and it doesn't look good when they win sometimes, and it really looks bad when they lose. So 2-1 Chicago. All right, guys, let's get into our fun little segment that we've been running lately, where we actually take our time to get to know a panelist. As you know, if you've seen us during the week, we've been saying that a certain panelist is going to get a few questions thrown their way, and they're going to have to answer them. That panelist is the Seattle Reign fans. Her name is Karen. So, Karen, we're going to ask you a few questions. You're going to answer them, and hopefully we don't stump you too much. We are going to start with Courtney and see what she has for you. You knew it.
Cool. So I just have a kind of a lame question. I don't like the question game that much, but if you could have a superpower, what would it be and why?
If I had a what?
If you could have a superpower, what would it be? Not to say you don't have a superpower, but if you could have like an actual superpower, like what would it be and why?
Oh, definitely teleportation. That is my answer that I give for that every single time, because then I could go to every single game that I wanted to go to. I could go to every single conference that I wanted to go to. I could go to Paris. I could go to London. I could go to freaking Timbuktu if I wanted to. And nobody could say anything about it. So teleportation.
Good answer.
Yeah.
Jen Hayes, what have you been wanting to ask Karen your whole life?
Oh no.
Okay, you can only pick one.
Okay.
If you had to pick one player on the rain to throw off, I mean, it's like they had to go. Would it be Kim Little or Jess Fishlock?
Oh no! No, that's so mean. Oh my God. I'm gonna get really bad karma no matter what I say.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's mean.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well,
That's brutal.
I'm really upset about it, but I'm gonna say Jess Fishlock, I guess.
Bye-bye, Jess. Bye-bye.
Because Kim.
Because Kim, that's it.
She's so special to me. So special.
What a question. What a question.
Messed up.
All right, Jennifer Carl, do you have a tough question for Karen?
Probably not really tough. Not like that. Oh my God.
That
That's
was
hard.
brutal.
Well done. Well done.
Yeah. Karen, what is your guilty pleasure?
Oh, dang. See, my thing about guilty pleasures is once I hit a certain age, I stopped being guilty about things. Like,
that's a good call.
I was like, you
That's a great
can
call.
just suck it up and deal with whatever it is that I like. I guess my guilty pleasure used to be like popular music. I thought that I was like super lame for being like, I actually kind of like Katy Perry, but now I own it. Like, I don't care. I think it's awesome. I guess guilty pleasure. Man, that's really hard. I don't know, because I'm not very guilty about that much that I do.
Well, I guess that's an answer, though.
I've been reading romance novels lately, and I've been trying to write one. So I guess that's a guilty pleasure. I'm trying to make it less guilty so that I can actually make money off of it. But I guess that counts.
Nice.
All right. Nice.
All right. It looks like it's my turn, right? All right. Well, so I believe that you hate Liverpool fans, if that's correct.
Oh, God.
Can you explain to everyone why you hate such the Scousers, as I call them?
I don't hate them all.
Ouch.
I don't hate them all. Because what happened was I went to a very early morning game at a bar in LA, and I was there to support Liverpool because they were playing against Manchester United, and I was there for a friend, and I even wore her little Liverpool jersey. And I was like super nice about it, and I was not telling anybody that I was a Chelsea fan because I knew that they would like tear me to pieces, and I don't jive with that. So then it was all over, and I was like, okay, just don't tell anybody that I'm a Chelsea fan, okay? And so of course one of my friends goes, well, just so you all know, she was coming here to support us, and she's a Chelsea fan. And then they tore me to pieces. And I was like, you know what? After that, I'm not watching any more English Premier League with any other people. If I watch it, it's going to be by myself because they tore me to pieces. And I was like, y'all need to grow up. So, yeah, it's not all Liverpool fans. Those ones in particular were really shitty. Huh?
Stop trying to start crap, DJ, by saying all Liverpool fans. He's trying to stir up the pot. Stop it.
So Karen,
I'm a nice Liverpool fan.
Well,
Karen,
my actual friend is a nice Liverpool fan too. It's just that she wasn't sticking up for me like I needed her to.
So, Karen, you were saying that all Liverpool fans are trash. Explain this.
Oh my God.
All right, that's enough.
Garbage.
Courtney's like, you're causing trouble.
You are causing trouble. Stop it.
So that was fun, though. Thank you, Karen, for answering our questions. We really appreciate it. This is the fun part of the show that was inspired by Jen Hayes. Rant time. Jen Hayes, lead us in our rants.
Well, I could rant about you stirring up the pot a little too much. I actually got everything off my chest, so for the first time, I don't really have a rant, except for the weather, but that's uncontrollable.
Oh my God, yes, ditto.
Good job, Jen Hayes. No rants. You ran it all during the show. All right, Courtney. Courtney, do you have any rants?
Yeah, other than the weather, because for someone who I don't actually mind, I don't complain in the winter except when it's like negative 30 out, so I'm over this 90-degree crap done. That's not my rant, though. My rant, just briefly, because this happened to me literally 4 times this weekend when I've been traveling. There's construction on the highway. If the lane is closed, they tell you, like, sometimes like a mile, 2 miles ahead of that, the lane is closed. Oftentimes before you actually stop and hit traffic. People, change lanes. Get out of the traffic lane. Get out of the lane that's going to close, because I sat in traffic for literally 45 plus minutes today, and the issue of that was people driving along the what's about to be closed lane up until it is closed, and then everyone's got to try to squeeze in to the working lane, and it just creates a backup. Just change lanes when you see the sign, people. That is my rant, because if there's one, I'm not a very patient person at all, but the one thing I hate more than anything in the world is sitting in traffic. So that was just a lovely part of my day, while literally everyone was driving by the closed lane. That there was a sign like, a mile back. They could have changed lanes and there was no traffic, no block, anything. They just could have.
They always do that.
So that is my rant and my pet peeve, because that was actually like the worst part of my day, and I was about ready to get out and walk. Not really, because that's illegal and dangerous, but there's that. Traffic.
Jean Carl?
Yeah, I have a long rant this week. I'm sorry. I'm going to take up enough time for myself and Jen Hayes.
Go ahead and take my time.
Okay.
Go ahead. Feel free.
I've talked to some of my fellow panelists down here about this already, because it really irks me. It really, really does. Shout out to you viewers for hanging with us, but like, you guys don't see a lot of the stuff that goes on kind of behind the scenes, and how much work DJ and the rest of these guys like really put into this. And like, we don't get anything for this. Like, this isn't something we do to make money. This isn't something we do like to get whatever. We literally do not get anything for this. We just do it because we want to grow the game, and we enjoy seeing these players in this league flourish. So like, that's a thing. Like, I've had some comments made to me that would make me think otherwise, and that's just not. It's not cool. It's not who any of us are. It's not what the show is about. We're just literally a group of fans and a group of friends that hang out, and occasionally we pretend that we like each other, and we come on the show to grow the game and to make people talk about it and think about it a little bit more, and maybe take a different thought that one of us says and start thinking about that, and start thinking, oh wow, hey, maybe I didn't really think of that, and to like get you guys maybe a little bit more exposure that you wouldn't otherwise have. So yeah, don't think for a second that we do this for any reason other than that, because we don't. We love you guys. We appreciate you guys. We love the fact that you see us every week. And yeah, so that's my rant. I'm done. I'm gonna get off my soapbox.
Mic drop. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I mean, I could piggyback off that rant. It's just like you said, there is no money made. Like, I've probably spent more on just buying gifts and stuff for people than I'm probably ever going to see with this show in the history of it. And it's just like, I agree with you on that. It's just like, there's nothing gained from it. It's more so us giving. I feel like we're giving more than we actually are trying to get back, because we're not trying to get back anything. It's more of us got something and enjoying it. So I 100% agree with that all the way. But my rant was going to be on something else, but that really swayed my rant. And I was just thinking like, yeah, she's right. I don't get any money. I spent so much money this summer. Yeah, that's my rant. You know what? You better take these Chicago tickets, people. We are giving away free Chicago tickets, and no one is commenting. I am ranting and aiming it right at you fans right there, the ones looking in that camera. Come on, people. You want these tickets. I mean, why wouldn't you want to come hang out with us or just get something for free? We've given away free balls, which I got to mention that winner. I hope you've hung along. And we've given away other free stuff. So just, support our giveaways and stuff. They help us out a bit, too, as we help you out, I guess. So, yeah, that rant went, I don't know, haywire. I was thinking about something else, so I'm off my wire. Okay, so anyway, we have to promote a couple things. That was the thing I really was focusing on. First, EPL thing. Go, Courtney. Go.
Right, so I mentioned before, this is probably one of the last times I mentioned it, because it starts on Saturday, the EPL, which is the English Premier League. EPL, BPL, people call it different things. It's the Premier League in England, the men, it's fine. We're doing Fantasy League. We'll tweet the link out again in case you missed it the first time. Anyone can join so far. There's a couple of the panelists are in there, so it's fine if it's just like a panelist group, but we would like for people out. I know there's a couple of people who have tweeted me about Premier League stuff, so I know there's people who watch it and are into it. So I'll tweet the link out, join up again. I haven't quite decided what it will be yet, but I have said that there will be a prize for the winner. Maybe of your choosing, depending, with some stipulations, but we may be open to discussion for that. There'll be a prize at the end of the season. It's kind of a long commitment, but it's okay. But there'll be a prize whoever wins.
I'm going to win. I'm going to win.
That's fine. If it's someone here, I'll give a prize to whoever wins the league. I mean that's a real thing.
Well, I gave my address is 480. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, we better watch out for that. Yeah, we'll tweet the link out on our social media, please. It's super quick and easy to join, so go for it.
Okay. All right, and let me announce the winner of the Spirit Ball, that sweet ball that had all those super signatures on it. The winner of the Spirit Ball is Julia Ashley. Yeah! Everyone clap real quick. You do your little fake clap, and we all get happy for Julia, because she has a cool prize. That's a cool prize, really.
Well done.
Congratulations for that. Like I said, we're giving away the Chicago Red Stars tickets, so please follow RT or just tell us why you want the tickets and you'll get that. Other than that, I think that's everything with the show. That's all the major stuff. And like I said, we'll tell you more about the other things we're doing at the national team games, where the find a panelist, kind of a where's the panelist, where's Waldo, spot the red cap, whatever we'll call it. That's everything. That was a fun show, guys. I guess I'll wrap it up. I am your host, DJ Redcap, and this is another episode of Off the Post. Hopefully you catch us. I will tell you, I think the next episode is August 18th. I'll look at my notes and we'll tweet it out as we always do. Look out for that. We're going to try to bring on some more special guests pretty soon because it seems like you guys always love those episodes. The question I always get when I bring on a special guest is, how did you get that person? My lips are always sealed. I never tell either. So tune in. You'll see who we probably get the next week. I know that we're going to have a bunch of stuff this month and next month from different guests and stuff. And you're going to see us traveling. We're going to do that Spirit Fan in Chicago, so that's going to be really cool. I'll actually probably make a special guest appearance on Little Jen's little episode, so that'll be fun. All right, guys, we will talk to you later. Join our EPL League, and see you soon. Everyone, wave, wave, wave.